Hey, what's going on, everybody? Julie Murphy here, financial planner for over 25 years, and I am here to help you create exactly the life that you love. Why? Because too many of us are pigeonholed in a lifestyle and we don't really know how to get out of it. We're sitting here and going, I know I want to change, I know I want to shift, I know it wants to change, but you're stuck and you're not really sure exactly how to get there. So, what I want to talk about today are money patterns and how do we shift our money patterns, because we all have them and it's all based off of the household and communities you grew up in. So, think about that. Our subconscious mind is fully developed by the time we're 7 years old. And we operate on two systems, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And we're going to dive into that subconscious today to look at that patterning and how do you get to a life that you love and get out of your money patterns. First, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like and notification bell so you know every time I'm doing this and I can help you on your journey. All right, are you ready? Here we go. So, we have to understand that our money patterns are actually our emotional patterns. And you may sit there and go, what? Years ago, I had realized that our emotions are tied to how we handle money, because many of us sit from a financial standpoint in a state of reactivity, and we don't sit and look at our money from the place of observation. Think of it like stock market goes down, economy is bad. You're like, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose my job? Am I not going to lose my job? Am I going to get promoted? Am I going to get the raise? Am I not going to get the bonus? Or that's the fight in the relationship. Or it's who knows? Like, it can come up in relationships, it can come up in you're stressed out about money, it's affecting your health. Now your gut flora is totally jacked up because you're have anxiety about it all the time, and maybe you're taking anxiety meds because you're always worried about tomorrow and where the next dollar is coming from. And or you may even be at a place where it's like, oh, I've worked my butt off. And according to society's reasons, I'm actually really successful. And I am so unhappy. So you have all this money and you're not happy. So, this is why I wrote my two books. The first one is The Emotion Behind Money, and it's about building wealth from the inside out. My second book is called Awaken Your Wealth, and I've actually put the link below right here because go to awakenyourwealthbook.com. I'm giving away my book for free because I want to collaborate with you to create a life that you love. You have to pay for your own shipping, but I'll pay for the book printing and all that good stuff. Okay? So go there and let us know how we can help and get that book. Now, on your money patterns, I really, really want you to see how these are playing havoc with you, right? So I want you to ask yourself the question, like, what money patterns do I actually have? Right? So take a pen, a piece of paper. Everybody's got a pen, write down, or maybe if you're an electronic person, just go under your notes section in your iPhone and say, what are my money patterns? Like, do you overgive and you're not open to receiving? Are you somebody who overspends and, you really, when you slide that credit card, it doesn't really land as to what you actually spent? What are they? Are you the workaholic that works way too many hours and you're not getting compensated accordingly? I cannot tell you the conversations I've been having with people about they're tired of working the 10, 12-hour days that they're working and only being compensated because they have the job function, but not the promotion with the paycheck to go along with it. These are all of our money patterns. And whatever version of that you have, this is your emotional patterning. And it's just acting its way out through the money, because we work things out and we act it out through our money, through our health, and through our relationships. Okay, so today let's talk about these money patterns. So even look at the people that you hang around with, right? So your money patterns are actually in all the people you hang out with. So look at the people that you spend most of the time with. And you're going to be tested. So let's just say you're a person that's completely gotten out of debt and don't really do that. Well, then you're going to track the boyfriend or the girlfriend or an employee that works for you or an employer that you work for that also holds your old money pattern, and you're going to be tested to see how well did you build that financial muscle, because sometimes the muscle's not built strong enough, then you fall off the horse and then you're back into your pattern again. Think of it like a diet, right? It's that if you don't make it a lifestyle, then it doesn't stick long run. And that's where a lot of people get jammed up and get challenged. And so that's why I want you to ask yourself the question, what are your money patterns? Because once you can shine the light on those patterns, then they can start to heal. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to actually write down what you would love your relationship to money be. Like maybe it's coming out in your job and you want to work less hours. Or maybe it's the fact that you want to work less and make more. How do you do that? Now, again, our brains will go straight to, well, how do I do that? How do I make that happen? Well, you don't need to necessarily worry about that because the how comes down the road. I need you just to sit in the seat of being the creator of your life. And I need you to sit there and say, okay, I want to create XYZ in my life. And just understand that the how will come up. Like you'll be given opportunities to step into it. And let me tell you this, when you align what you want to create in your life with your heart's desires, that is huge. Why? Because the human heart is the strongest magnetic force that there is on the earth. Don't believe me? Let me send you the research. Go to heartmath.org. HeartMath is an organization that has actually done the research. They've measured the magnetic force of the earth, and they realized years ago when the Twin Towers came down in New York that they couldn't understand why the magnetic force of the earth went 4.1 times its normal reading. And when that occurred, they had said, I wonder what this is. And then they started to look at the other peaks. It was when Princess Diana died. It was when Mother Teresa died. And when the show The Bachelor actually picked the first chick that he was going to date, because it's the most world-renowned show at the time, that also caused the magnetic force of the earth to go up. I know that sounds a little wacky to some people, but that is true. So they looked at all these other peaks and they realized it's actually the human heart. So they now have realized that the human heart can measure up to 8 miles long. And they don't have anything to measure it that farther. Our minds, the magnetic force of our minds is 2 feet, not too far. But yet we're taught to make all of our financial decisions from be smart, make a good financial decision. Well, the challenge is the magnetic force of your brain only goes for 2 feet, but the magnetic force of your heart actually goes for over 8 miles. So we need to make sure we are aligning what we want in our life and our money with our hearts, which most of us have put our hearts on the sidelines when it comes to making our money decisions. We've kind of left that on the sidelines. And this is a problem because I know with clients that I've worked with through the years that if you align what your desires are in a job and the people you're around, as an example, the type of boss you have, the flexibility, the travel schedule you want, the work-life balance, whatever it is that you dream of in the ideal job that you have or the ideal career, if you align that with your heart, more money comes to you. I see this happen over and over and over again. And after 25 years of being a certified financial planner, I'm here to tell you it works and it'll amplify and it's absolutely amazing and you'll have more fun than you've ever had. Why? Because you decided to do extreme self-love and self-care. That has everything to do with the fact that you're holding boundaries at a place that I don't really want to put up with that at work anymore. And you say no, so then all of a sudden that closes the door so other doors can open, right? This is how the energy of the earth works. And money is energy. Einstein proved it. E equals MC squared, right? Everything is energy. Our money is energy. So the question is how do you want your money to flow? So many of us, from a cash flow standpoint, our flow is like the rapids of Colorado, right? The Rocky Rapids, the Colorado River going through the Grand Canyon, right? Like cash flows are pretty rocky. Now, they got a little better as we went through the pandemic because savings went up to over $250 trillion across the United States because nothing was open to spend your money on. So now we have an opportunity to say, how do I want to clean that slate? How do I want to change my patterns? How do I want to? So go to the place of being the creator, not only from how do you want to restructure if you have any debt? How do you want to align your cash flows? And how do you want to build your wealth for the future? Because it's all three of those arenas. And what are those money patterns in all three of those places? Because again, I want you to recognize what your patterns are, and we need to interrupt and disrupt those patterns so that you can get to a life that you love. And so understand, like, where do those patterns then come from? Do they come from mom? Do they come from dad? Do they come from the communities? Because you need to stop spending so much time in the financial realm with those places, or you're going to be sitting there going, oh, I was just reminded recently, I had somebody come to me and tell me, yeah, Joel, you've really helped me with a lot of my financial patterning. And then my mom, who's definitely aging and at the tail end of her life, sat there and she actually has to move in with me because she's run out of money. And she got real close to who taught her her money patterns. And it was her test. It was her test all over again to say, nope, I'm building the muscle and I'm getting to another place. Nope, I'm not going. So it deepens the layer when you start to stop spending time with those people, like friends who are reinforcing spending on credit because they're shopaholics or out at the bars drinking too much or whatever that is. Like when you when you decide that you want something else or something greater, you can't go back and sit on the same bar stool. That's what one of my mentors used to say to me. So I want you to decide to break these financial patterns, to choose the new you, choose to create something different, because by you making the choice makes all the difference, because you're going, I don't want X, I want Y. All right. Number two, I want you to stop financially reacting to the world around you, right? Sometimes it's better just to sit there and go, oh, that just happened. And like for an example, my kids got kicked out of school again. Do I want to go pay $375 to get my kids back to school because I know they don't have COVID, but this is the requirements to get a COVID test? Or do I just surrender into the fact that I'll just homeschool them for 2 days and we'll figure it out, right? Like, but if I was reactive in the moment and freaking out about all the freak out that's happening around the world right now, pick the flavor of the freak out, we have to stop reacting. We have to, because when we react, then we're in our trauma, we're in our patterning from our subconscious mind, and we're not actually making a decision of what's really true for us. It's just our reactivity. It's like making a decision from your mind and your ego and reactivity versus a grounded place from your heart and soul. That's the difference. And that's how you break the patterning. So you start making decisions from a different place. Okay. And then just really choose to stay in that grounded and neutral zone as much as you can when you make those decisions. And if it means that if you're a debt person, you got to put the credit cards in the freezer, go for it. Or you need to cut them up, go for it. Maybe those are the boundaries that you need. If it's about your cash flows, well, maybe you stop using credit altogether and you just say, okay, I'm going to give myself $100 a week to spend. And when that $100 cash is out of my wallet, it's funny. I see the most common, I'll call it, way we bullshit ourselves, if you will, when it comes to credit card spending is people say, well, I don't want to carry cash with me because I might lose it. Come on, people. Seriously? That's just how you're staying in your patterning. It's okay that you can spend cash. That just shows me that you don't know how to hold money in abundance because it doesn't feel good in your wallet. One of the first assignments I give to somebody who's like that is, I want you to take a $100 bill and I want you to stick it in your wallet and don't spend it under any circumstance. Why? Because I need to shift you from financial scarcity to financial abundance. And Benjamin on that $100 US dollar bill starts talking to you. It's like, spend me. It's really interesting how it triggers our insides. So again, remember, our money patterns are all emotionally driven. And so if we start to recognize what those patterns are, recognize the emotions behind them, feel the feelings, but don't put yourself in a financial pinch or a financial decision that isn't something that you'll want to do later. Well, I hope that this was helpful because I want to help all of you get to a place and a life that you love because you deserve it. Talk to you guys soon. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and that notification bell, and get that book for free. Just pay for your own shipping at awakenyourwealthbook.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye.